factors you want to consider when looking at cybersecurity salaries isn't just the base pay. Don't just go by how much it pays, because that might be just a miserable job. And I'm gonna go over some of the factors you should consider other than pay. So these are more qualitative and not really quantitative, but qualitative is what you want to go for because you think more money will make you happier and you'll have a better life, but that's not always the case. Pay close attention. The number one is the location. This is gonna highly depend on where you are. If you really like city living and you go live in the boonies and it may pay a little bit more because nobody wants to live there, you're gonna be completely miserable. Or if you work downtown and cost of living is like $3,500 for an apartment in downtown, so you're gonna have to live like 2 hours away, so you only have to pay $1,500 for rent, but you're gonna be commuting like 4 hours a day. This does happen. You have to take that into consideration. And the culture of the location is very important. For instance, if you want to live in the west coast of America, Seattle, San Francisco, super progressive, whereas if you want to live on the east coast, not as progressive, very much business and all of that sort, or the Midwest, which is just kind of about friends and family. So you have to pick a region that really vibes with you. I didn't really realize the importance of that until I moved places that I didn't necessarily like, and I was like, oh, not all cities are the same. The culture varies greatly. The next one to take into consideration is rent prices. You may make a little bit more money, but does it make up for the amount that you're going to pay in rent? Do you need a car to get to your job? And that you should just factor in. I lived in the Seattle area and about a year ago, and a 2-bedroom, 1-bath there with a washer dryer and all of that sort would go around $2,000, and that's way far away from downtown. Whereas now I live in Columbus, Ohio, and I have a 2-bedroom, 1-bath townhouse with a finished basement and a garage in a really good neighborhood close to coffee shops and restaurants and grocery stores for $1,400. The next one is going to be stress level. You're not really going to know what the stress level is going to be until you get in that environment. But if you're in a pretty stressless job and then you're like, well, this pays a little bit more money, I would be wary because that job may be hell and you don't know, and you're gonna be like, man, I wish I had just stayed. It wasn't worth like the extra $15K I'm making now because my life quality has declined. So keep that in mind. It's not just about pay. For instance, I'm in a pretty stressless job right now. It's not that stressful. If I were to move, and even though I could probably switch jobs and make more money, it might be more stressful. It depends. Unless of course I just stay within the same organization, then I can kind of know if the next job will be like stressful or not. Well, next you're gonna wanna look at the commute time. So how long is it going to take you to get to work? Are you gonna be spending 2 hours in traffic? This does happen with people. And you want to factor that into like how much you get paid. So I would gladly take a remote job that paid less than even take a job with a 30-minute commute, because that's my time and that's gas money. And it's honestly just a huge pain to go to the office. So remote job, always. So what's your commute time? Like, do you want to give that up? Factor to take into consideration would be if it's the nighttime or daytime. I would not take a nighttime shift ever because it's really bad for your health. And without your health, you don't really have anything. However, you may really like nighttime shifts, and they usually pay more because it is a night shift, and it's also a lot slower pace. I just can't stand it, and I really like my sleep, so that's my thought on that. But you may really like it, I don't know. Also, what's the upward mobility of the position you're taking? A lot of times with a lot of dead-end tech jobs, you really have to be careful of this, and you're gonna have to change companies in order to like move up. So what's the upward mobility? Can you stay within the company? That's important. Not the most important. It's really depending on your location, of course. The next one is the co-workers, and you don't really know who your coworkers are going to be. So if you're happy in a stress-free job and you get paid fine and your coworkers are good, honestly, I don't think you should give that up for an extra 20K, because you may hate your job, you may not like your coworkers. Unless of course it's remote, then kind of mitigates if you like your coworkers or not. It's really just about working at that point. Your coworkers can make or break a place, honestly. Like, stayed at places just because I liked my coworkers way longer than I should have stayed there. So that's a really important factor when deciding on a job. Important things when you're looking through cybersecurity job listings is that posting is for their dream candidate that probably doesn't exist. I would just disregard the requirements on the job posting really, because most people don't have that experience. I don't even have experience on half of these job descriptions, and I'm like, what? Why do you need to know all of this for a pretty simple job? So take it all with a grain of salt. Don't let it discourage you when you're looking for jobs, because it's all kind of made up. And remember that the people writing these job listings aren't the technical people. They're just human resources, and it's probably junior human resources creating these job descriptions, and they could be completely off. So what they think makes sense, and if they don't run it by someone who's technical, may not make sense to anyone else, because human resources is really different than the technical team. The technical team does not write human resource job postings. I have more cybersecurity videos that you can check here somewhere, and please like, comment, and subscribe, and until next time, my friends, until next time.